Right. Hey guys! Wow, it's been a long time, everyone. And we just looked, and it's been 5 whole months. So now we're finally back with hopefully your favorite podcast out there. Sorry for the delay. It's been kind of crazy, and we'll definitely be going all over everything that's happened to us and everything that's been going on. But finally, super happy to say we're finally back. Gonna get this second season of All Encompassing started, and I think it's going to be quite a special ride just because I believe we're definitely going to have more guests and more special people come on and share their stories and their experiences and everything, and hopefully get back on that awesome road that we wanted to do with this podcast for sure. So, but yeah, this is just to say hi, everyone. It's been a long time. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, and I would say my second host here.
Zerona with an X.
We're finally back, and we're finally here to share our stories, share everything, and talk to you guys who we've missed so much. Obviously, thank you for the support from the other videos and everything, and everyone that's been along the way. We appreciate you, and sorry for the delay, but we're back now, and we'll definitely talk about everything that's going on. So,
Mhm.
for starters, let's start with Serona because it's been a while that I've actually talked with her as well, but since our last podcast video, which was in Korea actually, that we saw, um, a lot has happened. And Zerona is actually maybe not even in Korea, which is quite surprising for a lot of you,
I'm in
maybe.
the moon.
Since nobody probably knew that was probably happening by then. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's start right off with that. So Zerona, it's been a long time. How have you been?
Mhm.
Good, good.
I'm good. I'm still going through a journey actually. So now I'm not more in Korea. I left Korea in August. I think I was just tired. Not only tired, but I just what's the word? Yeah, Korea was fun and all, but I think I just needed a place, first of all, with family, because my mom and my brother is here, so it's like closer. Second of all, was like I wanted a place a little bit more diverse. I was like, yeah, I've been in Korea. It's kind of like the same for me. I've traveled almost more than half of the places in Korea. So just like, there's always something fun to do in Korea. That's one thing. But I was just like, I wanted to go to a different place and, experience more, meet more culture, people. Like in America, there's even, I've met people that I didn't even know were in the map. But surprisingly, during the map. So
Uh,
it's like,
for starters, I don't think you actually hear. Where are you now? Because I don't think you told us where exactly. Where are you now? And
can I finish? Can I,
exactly.
can I finish?
I
Can I
mean,
finish why I left Korea?
you
I gotta finish why I left
well,
Korea.
true, but you also got to tell us like where you are. Because if not, then we're just kind of guessing.
Okay, now, okay, so now I'm in America. I'm in
Okay.
Virginia. I'm not in a very small city in Virginia. Um, so I'm doing my master's. I'm doing an MBA right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to like experience more diversity and be more close. Like it's totally different. Even for me, I feel like because this is not my first time in America. I've been coming to America for a very long time, and my dad worked here. But um, it's like I'm still having that culture shock. Like there's so many different things I'm gonna talk about later, but so many things like car, you having a car. In
Hmm.
Korea, I never needed a car, but now this one, I'm like, oh my God, I need a car. The price, the taxes, man, y'all be taking taxes like what? And I'm not even a citizen yet. And they're taking taxes after, working hard. So we're gonna talk about that. And yeah, it's just like yeah, I wanted to continue my education and I wanted to do it in a more diverse place where I could kind of like so you're homesick, like but here I don't really feel that homesick because I've met some Nigerians. it's more easier to get Nigerian food here and other different food over here. And it's 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 kind of a place where you don't even feel like you're a foreigner.
Mm,
Yeah, like
mm,
most people don't, like I have an accent, like you know that I'm not 100% American because I
yeah.
have an accent, true. But I don't feel like, oh, Wiggle Guinea, like, oh, Wiggle,
Mm,
like foreigner. Like, oh, where you from? Nigeria. Oh, that's cool. No one ever says you're a foreigner. So
yeah, yeah,
it's like, oh, that's so different,
yeah.
So um definitely the feeling is very different. It's yeah, it's different feeling, and I just wanted to leave Korea, not because I hated Korea, but just because the fact that I was just like, I've kind of seen it. I felt like I've kind of seen it all, and I felt like, let me just go to another place
Mm,
and a place closer to home.
yeah.
Excuse me, and a place closer to home, a place where I can meet other people. The city, so Virginia is not really the best city for diversity, state for diversity. But still, and the country and the county I'm in is not also the best for diversity. But because the school is big, I'm not gonna tell you what the school is, but because the school is such a big school in Virginia, and yeah, it was just easy to like, yeah, we meet a lot of people, and in my school is more. And the thing about my school is that most international students are Korean, so there are
Uh-huh.
more Koreans in the school. So I feel like everywhere I go, guess what I hear?
Right.
Exactly. I feel
Mm.
like I felt like I didn't even leave Korea at a point in time. Like I just came back from a Korean church Bible study.
Well,
And then I was helping translate Korean to Korean American. And I was like, damn, maybe I'm the one that's scared. So everyone always teased me like, you're not like in back in Korea as a foreigner, right? But here, I'm not a foreigner with the Koreans. I'm more of like a Korean. So they don't even try to
mm,
speak in English to me anymore. They just start speaking
automatically.
in Korean to me and they start treating me like a Korean only, like that. And so in my mind, I was like, it's so different. Back in Korea, I was always a foreigner.
Mm.
But here, I'm I'm not Korean, but you know what I mean? Like I'm
You get
accepted as part
treated
of.
like that a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know,
I
things
have similar
for me.
stories to that as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, definitely. We'll get more into it. I'll definitely ask some more questions about that too, because I'm actually super interested. But so that's pretty much a little bit of what's going on with or what's been going on with Zerona. Now about me, my path was a little bit more hectic for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much uh after we got done with that podcast in Korea, finally enjoyed my last, I think it was last 2 weeks there, I believe, after that. Enjoyed it fully. Spent it a lot with Zerona, a lot of good friends. It was awesome to see them during that time, and it was just nice to take a break after studying for so long and just have a nice month to just do whatever I wanted. So yeah, it was awesome. I enjoyed it. My flight was good coming back. From Korea. My flight was hectic after like from something happened where I had to like supposed to go from like LA to Washington to Orlando,
Ooh.
but I ended up like missing it or something. So I literally had to fly, like waited a whole like 12 hours, like a whole day to like get to another flight from LA to San Francisco to Orlando, and that was a bit crazy on. So yeah, there's that. So but after that, things were good. Just getting myself acclimated back to like life here a little bit. And then pretty much right after that, I was starting to like look for what I wanted to do because I'm still kind of working, but like I also wanted to see like maybe what area I wanted to go to, what things I wanted to maybe dive back into. And that's when literally maybe a couple days, a couple weeks after, I took a fall in one of the rooms. One of my dogs had a seizure, and my mother, who's over, screamed at me to like go get a towel, and I was like, "Oh, shot!" So obviously ran, and when I was running, turning into a room, I fell. Um, Fell right on my elbow, fell right on my left knee, so on the same side. Um, and yeah, let's just say I started to scream after that because it did not feel great. Um, Stood up right after like difficult time getting up, and it was like walking around. And it was like definitely hurting a lot. Went to the emergency room after that. Um, got some X-rays, took a CT scan, did a couple things, and learned that. And then after a little bit further along, figured out that I had a fractured elbow, just a hairline fracture, on my tibia, so pretty much close to the elbow, like around here. Um, Small one, but yeah. So let's just say the full heal for that was 3 months, and let's just say I'm on my last month, so it was a while back. Um, so yeah, by the end of this month, I should be finally fully healed from that. But luckily, from physical therapy and such that I got, it's been fine. I haven't felt any pain. I've been able to do motion and stuff. So, for my knee, I also got a fracture. Um, don't remember exactly. It's pretty much right above my knee. What happened there was a little bit more crazy sounding, but it wasn't thankfully bad. My bone from the bottom part, um, when I fell, it like went inside of my knee, like it went through one of my cartilages or my CLs. I think it's my CL. Not my MCL, the other one, the one behind it. So the CLC, I think. I'm not sure, but let's just say that happened. Luckily, didn't tear anything else, didn't do anything damage wise. So yeah, it was just recovering from that. That I had crutches and everything, so I could barely like
Mm.
walk, go upstairs. So it's kind of difficult. Um, but I just finished my therapy for that yesterday actually. So I am pretty close to 100% now. So thankfully that's all done with. But yeah, I've been dealing kind of with that and getting like back to 100% physically. Um, and it's been a weird road because that's literally been my first serious injuries ever, where I've been like, oh, I need to go get MRIs and CT scans and physical therapy and all that stuff, which was very interesting and a new experience for me. So I've been dealing with that, and yeah, so luckily I'm done now. Finally, hopefully next week, I think I'll finally start like, okay, getting back on track of where I wanted to be before all this. Um, so that's my side. And after we'll come back to me after. I'll talk about like the experiences I've had going through it because I think I found new. I think purpose is the wrong word, but like new motivations, new things about like after being injured and taking things for granted more, um, and all these different things. But yeah, that'll be a little bit after, you know, later on. We'll talk about that. But definitely want to get back to Zorn and ask her a couple things because she she touched on a lot of like different aspects that I kind of wanted to ask about. Because I also felt the same way, not me going to Korea, but like for example, me going to um my own country. Like let's say me going to Colombia, I feel different like going there because I was born in Colombia, but when I go there, people don't see me as being Colombian. They're more like,
Mm.
oh, you're an American that just speaks Colombian. Is more
Mm.
the feeling I get. But when I'm
Mm.
here, people just say, oh, you're Colombian. You know, like there's no depiction of like, oh,
Mm.
you're a foreigner, for example. Like, and
Mm.
there's this thing also over there. at least in the east side, where like you go over there and you're just a foreigner. That's what you are. You're just a foreigner. You're not. I don't think anybody would ever look at you other than that, even if you go more than just being a foreigner, like reside there, been living there for a long time. I think people still kind of look at you in a foreigner way. So I think that's kind of interesting. And then you coming here, you'll see the difference of like, yeah, people here don't. I've hardly, maybe ever heard anybody say a foreigner.
Yeah.
People here just say, "Oh, you're from there. Oh, cool. Oh, nice." And then
Yeah.
we share
Yeah.
that instead of like, "Oh, you're just this one thing. You're just a foreigner," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's an interesting topic that you touched up on a little bit, and I definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about that. But no, let's get right into it. Let's talk about. So let's start from the right from the beginning, because I believe you also shared a little bit about um I think right before we left, we started touching on like the thing that you're going through with the banking in Korea. But
Oh.
let's start off with that point of like that
Excuse me.
feeling that you started getting of like, oh, I'm not enjoying this much, or I really wanted to like get out of there. What was that feeling like, or what was that thing, and what made you finally decide, all right, this is it. This is my time to go.
Well, the bank thing wasn't the one that made me leave, but it did push me to leave faster. But yeah, suppose it wasn't really, so the thing was that after resolving, it wasn't really a big deal. But the fact that as a foreigner and as someone who doesn't really understand Korean, um, it was just like I was, and also me being naive. I would say I didn't really handle it well because I was so naive. I was trusting, even if I knew that I was being lied to, but even if I didn't know, like, even if I was being lied to, I was still naive and believing, and oh, you don't have any evidence of this, never, never. So I think that was also like, I'm glad it happened because I felt like God was teaching me how to be a little bit more mature and how
Mm,
not to be stupid. Because that's what I'll take it as. I feel like it's a lesson that God did for me, and also about faith. And because of that situation, even for my MBA, like I'm not saying like I've become, I'll say yes, I've become more lazy, but I'll say more faith. And it's not like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna read, I'm gonna have faith in God, that kind of stuff. It's not like that. It's more of like I don't want to put, because for me, I was thinking, what I'm always someone who's thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? What is my plan A? What's my plan B? If I have a situation, I will have like four plans already before I do that. And I don't, and as I said, I'm a Christian, but at the same time, I won't have, because you're planning the solution, you don't really have faith on what God's solution is, right? So that's what happened to me in my bank situation. I got so stressed. Even when I think it got resolved at the end of June. Yeah, I think you were still there in Korea. Yeah, yeah, you were there like
mhm.
early June, and they were like, hey, yeah, your bank was open. Um, yeah, we found out that you're not part of this. So something about my manager has been doing it for a long time, blah blah blah. But no, that's not my problem. I blocked her. But I think there, like it gave me so much headache. The fact that first of all, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Second of all, it's like you're not really communicating with you,
Mm,
and it's like, oh, like I remember I went to one banker was really nice, and I went to another banker, and she's like talking. I don't really understand what she was just like. We go again, jail, so like this foreigner has a lot of problems, like that kind of stuff. So part of me was just like, oh, don't get me wrong, it's not all like one Korean banker was like really trying to help me, but the other one was like it just depends on individuals in general, but
person, yeah.
yeah, person in general. And then I was thinking like I'm getting older. I mean, not as old as Brian, of course, but
I knew you
yeah,
were gonna
but yeah, I'm getting older. And don't get me wrong, Korea, depending on the people you meet in Korea, person your personality. But I just felt like if I was in Korea, um, I didn't feel like my life would have, might be wrong. I think I'm wrong, but I just wanted to go into a different place that's more broader in a
Mm,
way where I could get more opportunities, where I can
mm,
meet more people. Like, okay, let me give you a scenario. Like, I think first day of school, first week of school, I was like, dang. So there are more category of boys here, like Korean mixed with black, Korean mixed with Mexican, Japanese mixed. I never knew Japanese and Colombian would make it really good, but yeah, Japanese and Colombian was there. I was like, it's like God knew, and because he that was a buffet. That was not just a buffet. That was taste of the nations mixed with other nations. You
oh my
know, you know what I mean? That was, that was a classification. That was a
God.
dictionary,
Oh,
boys. You know what I mean? That was a but yeah,
classic.
but yeah. Yeah, so definitely it kind of opened my mind to see more boys and more people. Not I emphasize the boys because I like boys. But it's like and then I started to even with the Koreans I met, I'm not saying Koreans act the same way, but in Korea, they have that unique similarity, you know what I mean?
Mm,
There. But there, I'll meet people who are Korean, but they're still very like maybe because of or one was from Chicago, one was from New York. So even the way they are, even for them, they don't even have that really similarity. You know, there. So for me, it was like, oh, I'm growing up. I'm 22. This is more time for me to kind of get exposed, language. And some of my friends would joke about it that if I stayed in Korea, I'll probably not get married. I don't know. I doubt that. I mean, who cannot want to marry? But
I
but
agree.
of course, yeah, it was just more of like to see more of it, and
Mm,
just to see like the diversity, to meet people, to finally find shoes that are my size, find
mm,
clothes that are my I cried. First of all, I cried when I went to Walmart because I saw mango that was not expensive. So I cried for that.
fruit. Crazy.
Then I cried when I went to an like Hispanic shop store because they had plantain, and I haven't tasted plantain for 4 years since I've been in Korea. I cried. So yeah, just being able to see different and see not because I was a very social person in Korea. So I felt like
Mm,
I knew a lot of people with a lot of personalities. And then I came here, I'm like, oh my God, I need to learn more because there are more opportunities, there are more personalities in
mm,
America than in Korea. Because in Korea, I've met different people from different kind of countries, but when you're here, I think maybe because we're foreigners, that made us drawn near to each other. Like, oh, you're a foreigner,
mm,
let's hang out because we're all foreigners, that kind of stuff.
mm.
So that was one common denominator, even if we had different like interests or whatever. But here, no one here is a foreigner.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not a. They don't say, oh, you're just
You're
not
just
American.
someone.
But
Yeah.
there is no one that is big looking. There's no one that is not a foreigner here. So
Mm,
it's like I'm seeing more different personalities. So I think more here, I'm more calm. Like my personality also is changing. So I'm more calmer, I'm more reserved here. I'm actually more of an introvert here. First of all, because I don't have a car.
mm,
Second of all, yeah, I'm more introvert because I'm learning more about people's how they're talking, how they are when they meet this kind of person, you know, how what they do when they do that kind of stuff. So I felt like, yeah, going of course coming to America, things are more expensive and it's more harder and it will take more mental strength to come to America. But I
mm.
feel like that step kind of opened gave me a broader, it's still giving me a broader knowledge and experience.
Horizon. Mhm.
So horizon, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Mhm. Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of those things for sure. Um, So, okay, I can understand all your points there, and I can definitely see what happened and like kind of that new step you're kind of taking now, especially being, in a new place in a new area, trying to figure out how people are and like finding that difference. Because, yeah, especially when you go to a new country, it's like really hard to kind of be the same way you were in
Mhm.
somewhere else. You always, that immediate like, oh, kind of figuring out who you are again in many ways, I think. Um, so that's actually kind of interesting. I actually do agree with you because I'm kind of the same way when I go somewhere else. Uh, I'm Me and you are ENFJ, so we like to be around people and stuff, and actually like be upfront and forward. But whenever I'm somewhere new, I do tend to turn into an eye a little bit, just because I'm more cautious with things and more okay. Let me not maybe just randomly go up to someone or do something and something else. I tend to be more cautious, so I can definitely see your part that way. So my next question is, so after all that time, you kind of okay, you finally took the decision like, okay, I'm leaving. You stated at the beginning where you really wanted to be more around family because you missed them for so long. It's been so long, and you're definitely a family person. I always say from all the podcasts before, but from knowing you, you're the type of person that really cares about family, good friends, people around you that care about you. So, what was that like finally coming here, seeing your family? That's been like many, many years, but just I think now it's been what 5 months since that video. So, how's that relationship with your family now? How's that been? How has seeing them, spending time with them, and kind of figuring things out now that you're here?
Mm, I think because I was at a point in time, me and my mom used to get in a lot of fights because I wasn't used to being with her.
Mm,
So my mom, I'd be like, she would try to help me with like packing my mom. Why did you pack my stuff? I like packing this certain way, this is that. So at a point in time, she told me, she was like, you're going to, which is not bad being independent, but it comes to a point where you're like, you're so independent that you get irritated for someone helping you, and so that's your family member. That's bad. That's a really bad thing to do, especially as a girl. And it came to a point where I'm like, oh, I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. So you don't want to ask for help.
mm,
And it would turn into you being very, excuse me, it turned into you being very prideful.
mm,
So I felt like that was who it was. And so meeting my family again, it was that kind of awkward feeling like, why do I, you know, how to say, like, why do I need to talk to them? Like, why are they helping me? Why, because I wasn't used to that for a long time. And I grew up in Korea I went in Korea when I was 17. So living in Korea 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, going in 22 or 22. It's like my early adult age is about me being independent. Me, myself, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to find friends to do that. So coming here, well, I'm still like young, so I can still change it. But coming here was more of like I wasn't like people helping me or my mom helping me or my mom's friends helping me was still weird for me.
mm,
Like I could get my own friends and do this, but they're helping me. Like they're making life easier for me. Not everyone is gonna start. And it's harder to start. I feel like it's harder to start in America,
mm,
because America is very broad
mm,
compared to Korea. But part of me was like not used to the help and
mm,
not used to people just coming. Like at a point I think I'm very distant even with my family and very distant even with my my mom's friends who are trying to help. And so I think I was growing again, and I was still come and think to myself again, like, hey, like Korea is like Texas is. I feel like Texas is bigger than Korea, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, look, you managed to go through half of Texas. You have never gone through the whole of Texas. I was like, yeah. So it was it was weird for me because I was just like, I'm used to that independency a lot. So, but now I'm still trying to learn how, like, I'm making friends, but I think now I'm more cautious about making friends. I'm more introverted. And then I feel like back in Korea, if you knew me in Korea, I could say anything and talk about
Mm.
anything and not really give it, like, don't care. But here I'm more of like, I'm more of a listener. Like sometimes I hardly even talk.
Do
Like I
you
even
think
act like a, yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
do you think that's how you are right now, but do you think that will change after time, or do you think you'll, because of how things have happened, you'll maybe continue to be like that?
I don't think I would continue to be like that because I felt like in Korea, first of all, I was young, I was 17 when I was in Korea. And then I felt like I had to always start the conversation in Korea.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I
Mm.
always had to start the conversation in Korea.
Mm.
So that's why I kind of put unnecessary pressure on myself.
Mm.
So I'm like, I have to keep on talking so it will not be awkward. So even
Mm.
like I don't want to talk, but I feel like I have to keep on talking just to be
Yeah.
talking. But here is very different. Here, to be honest with you, I've never since I've been here since August. It's like November 3rd, 4th. I have never started a conversation with anyone. They always start a conversation. Oh, or they always start with a compliment. Or they start with a good morning. And then I can turn it into a conversation, but
Mm.
they always start a conversation. So for me,
Mm.
it was more of like, oh, so I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to
Mm.
people complimenting, oh, your hair looks nice. Oh, your shoes looks nice. Oh, good morning. How are you? Or just someone just, I wasn't um used to that. Or just someone smiling at you when you're walking past. Because in America, people do that. It's fake smiles, but it's just smiling at you. But I wasn't used to that. So for me, I feel like, oh, I don't have to feel that pressure burden or that, oh, I have to be that Waban Salam, like that um person who has to start the conversation.
Mm.
I could, like today, when I was coming, like they were like a group of friends and we're talking and talking and talking and I would join the conversation and then I would withdraw myself back and I just so it's like back in Korea, I always try to be in that conversation. I'd always try to continue conversation. Always try to,
The front runner, pretty much.
yeah. But here it's just like I think I'm more relaxed. Like if I want to join that conversation, I'll join it
Mm.
and then I can leave it. I can join it,
Mm.
and so for me, it was more like that.
Okay.
So I feel like yeah, definitely it's more. Of course, I'll be more like I would meet someone, but hi, how are you? Like I do that to my classmate. Hey, how are you? Are you good? And that's like that. But I'm also like I'm not going to be as close as I was or try to make the relationship fast like I was. Like if you
Mm.
knew me, like we're friends in Korea. Like I could be friends with you and oh, what's your cacao? I'm the first day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, like I had all my classes with someone since August. I haven't even had her number. We see each other every day, but I'm more of like I don't want to go too fast
Mm.
like what I did in Korea because in Korea I was like, oh, okay, I was alone, I was young, I needed the amount of help as I could get. So I was trying to be friendly with everyone, whether good or bad, just as long as I don't feel lonely, as long as you don't as long as you could help me. Like that was the mentality in my mind. But here it's
Yeah.
more of like I could see you every single day, but I might not necessarily need to call you. You know what I mean? So I think now I'm more, when I say picky, but more of like I don't feel the pressure of I have to start that conversation. I don't feel the pressure of like, I have to
Put yourself
mm,
out there.
yeah, I'm already out there. If you have eyes, I'm already out there. if you need glasses, you still have something. So.
Okay. Uh, okay, yeah. Okay. I can totally see it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely agree. I think that's good. Like, because definitely when you say you were in Korea, you're definitely that type of person to really put yourself out there. Um, and I don't think that's a bad thing, especially in a place where in Korea more than anything, I would say. Uh, that's definitely what felt like a place where you kind of wanted to put yourself out there more because I think there people like talking to you more is way less or like not really gonna
Mm.
happen unless you put yourself out there. So I think
Okay.
to really do that, I think that was good for your time there. But here, yeah, um, there's a lot different, and that's actually going to lead to my next question. Is now we're going to talk about differences, culture differences, different things that you've noticed here, or um, like you said, how people act or the way you have to be is a lot different here than you say you were in Korea. So how's that been like? How has culture really like changed for you? How have people been? Like for example, you said way earlier at the beginning of the podcast, you said that, you know, people there just see you as a foreigner. But here, foreigner, the aspect of a foreigner doesn't really exist here. It's like, oh, you're just you. You're just like, for example, me and you meet, oh, he's just Brian. She's
Mm.
just like that's it. Or like, oh, where you from? Oh, okay, cool, that's awesome. And you like end it there. But in Korea, in a lot of respects, some people, not everyone, but some, like most, I would say, oh, he's just a foreigner. And that's kind of the word that's going to be to you or directed to you no matter what happens in many situations. So that's kind of a big thing that I think a lot of people take notice of, especially at the beginning. Um, so how's that been? How's that culture aspect been for you?
I think it's very different in Korea because as I said, I'm not really offended by the Weigugin kind of. I used to be very
Yeah.
offended by it, but I'm not really offended by the Weigugin kind of stuff because even
Mm.
me, I started to call other people Weigugin, but uh, I think because they're a very homogeneous country and they are opening up. That's one thing I do respect about Korea
Yeah,
news.
for sure.
Korea is opening up, and I feel like you know that is a big improvement.
Yeah, that's been awesome to see.
It's
Mhm.
awesome, but yeah, as is here, even with my coworkers, they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" Because you have an accent. I'm like, "I'm from Nigeria." They're like, "Oh, okay, okay," but they still call me Zorona. They're like, "Oh, I just know you're not from here." Some of them don't even remember where I'm from. Like, I have this coworker who has asked me 17 times where I'm from, and literally, he plays Nigerian music, and his girlfriend is not. So I'm like,
Oh,
if you know your girlfriend is Nigerian, I don't know, but I don't know whether he's pretending or not.
maybe.
But
At
yeah,
that
that's
point,
what I'm
17 times?
17. I'm just I don't know, I'm over exaggerating, it's not 17, but he asked me a lot. But yeah, because everyone here just looks at first of all, as I said, the way cooking thing is always gonna come in America in Korea. So that aspect of you being Wegugin is of course different. Here, I noticed that like in classes, so if you took my class or you've been a, like or you know or you were my classmate back in Korea, I tend to be the person who always used to ask a lot of questions. Oh, Zarna asks a lot of questions. Zarna contributes a lot in classes. So my friends always make fun of me like, oh, I'm more of the professor than the professor. Here, Jesus Lord, I'm like, damn, shut up. You already know the answer. Why ask this question? Oh, you know what I mean? Like seriously, like here it's like people just so express themselves. And then for me, it
Oh,
took
for sure.
I think like my first like 6 weeks of class in my mind. Okay, so the teacher was talking about marketing. He said marketing is the way you put stuff out in the market. So one person was like, when you mean market, do you mean by a mart or a store? Boy, you know what he mean. Why you gotta ask that question? Why? Where? You know what I mean? And when he said it, I was like, did, did he just say did he just say that? You know?
It's so
But
funny because I could actually see you in class turn around and look at him.
I did. I was like,
I know you did. I know you did.
you know
Oh,
that I was like, what is this? But you know what I'm saying? And sometimes like we could just like diverse, like in class, like we diverse to different topics. So for me, I was like, okay, now I understand why my friends feel like I'm more of a professor than a professor. But at the same time, it's like they have that free will to express themselves. And then for me, I used to express myself in classes. Like I also used to ask stupid questions, but not that type of stupid questions. But still, I still gotta ask questions. But it was like, oh, it's different here. People are more um opinionated. People here, like even
mm,
the way they even call their professors, some of them they say it by name. Oh,
mm,
George, just like so for me, I'm like, that's so disrespect. The African in me and the Korean, you know, you have to call it like sensei name or
mm,
uh oh, this professor in Korean. Um that kind of stuff. You gotta call the title. So when they're like saying like up to now, like some of my professors are like, "Oh, you just call me like Rodney or what?" I'm like, I cannot do that. So for me, like things that I found rude was actually very normal here. So I was like, that's another cultural change too. And even the assignments, like my first assignment, I remember I want to do it so perfectly because in Korea, you know, you have to do something perfectly or you have to memorize and stuff, that kind of stuff. Like
mm.
for the exam, like if you remember our marketing exam, and then I learned all the snowball effects and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah. Dang it.
here, I feel like I'm not even studying because yeah, you have to know the theory, but if you don't know how to apply the theory, in so like for example, I remember a professor was like, "Oh, what's?" I was like, "Man, I learned this," and I was like, "Okay." I was telling her about the snowball effect and this and that, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, I know. I still remember what I memorized." And she was like, "Okay, apply it in this situation." And then she gave this scenario, blah 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 blah, this and that. Okay, apply this snowball survey effect, and my face just like you know, I already gave you the definition. That's all I know. You know what I mean? So like it kind of made me think, even like writing, like I always try to make like the Nigerian me is trying to make like 20-page paper. And I see someone like 5-page paper, but they get a higher score than me. And I was like, why? Why? And then I noticed that they're not looking for correct back in Korea, we always read for like that competitive competition ideas there like I want that scholarship kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
we're just reading and memorizing, not really. We're applying in some classes, you could like most of my tourism classes that apply, but still you're just memorizing so you could get a good grade. But here it's like if you want a good grade you got to give me something unique.
Yeah. Especially
So
in
here,
business, for sure.
especially in business. So here they're
Yeah,
looking for something unique. They're looking for something creative. They
yeah,
look
yeah.
for something that can say, "Hey, this is something different."
Hmm.
Back in Korea, it's more of like, "Oh, you just gotta give them the right answer." Not, and don't get me wrong. Some of my classes in Korea were more of creative. Like some of my classes, especially my tourism classes, was creative. But most classes wasn't that. Oh, your creativity. They wanted you to write what is there or similar to what is there. So for me, I started to understand like here, like I would spend like 5 hours in a paper each day. And I noticed that one person was just like, she'll finish her whole paper in 2 hours. And I'm like, how do you do that? She's like, oh, I just put this, I just put that as well. And in my mind, I'm like, my paper is 10 times better than yours, but there's a certain things she just highlights that's unique and different. So I was like, okay, that's also very something that's very different here. Here they're looking for how do you apply it? How do you and they
Hmm.
ask you like in-depth question that even me, I don't think about. Even
Yeah, yeah.
like my career coach was like, what do you want to do? I want to do tourism. This is okay, what makes it different? what is something that make you stand out? This, and that. And then I'm like, I think about that. I'm just here to get an MBA and get a job. But it's like, what kind of job? Why do you want to get that job? Is that and it's a Christian school. So I think you probably know what school I mean because it's in Virginia, it's a Christian school, it's in a small city. Definitely know what school I am. But and then they want you to think about the Christian perspective of that. Like all my classes, marketing, whatever, you have to also think about the Christian perspective of that. So I was like, here makes you think more. So here it's more of like thinking also. So that's for the academic side. The social side here is that I notice that here everyone talks to each other kind of stuff, but at the same time they're very individualistic. But individualistic doesn't mean like they're like Korea, like you okay, let me give you an example. In Korea, like you could be like I sat down in a bus. You can be in Korea, sitting down in a bus with someone for 2 hours and you guys will never talk. Very normal. But
Yeah.
here, you sit down in the bus, someone could just start a conversation with you. Hey, like one girl was like, hey, I'm sorry, like from my she was like, oh, I'm like, I was wearing my AirPods and she was like, is this song? Oh, I love this song. And I was like, oh. First of me, I was shocked. I was like, first of all, don't you mind your business? But it's
That's a Korean in you.
I was like, I was looking at her like, what? So she thought I was kind of rude because it was like, she's kind of trying to start a conversation and
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
and she's from a small town. And then
Mm.
I'm looking at her like, and every like I don't have a bitchy face, but I have a very judgmental. I was like,
Yeah.
talking to me, not out of oh, why are you talking to me? But I'm just like, why are you talk like, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
used
yeah.
to that.
I'm
Um,
surprised. Look, like, huh?
I was surprised. So I was like, here it's like, and because they're nice to you doesn't mean they want to be your friend all the
Ooh.
time. Just be nice, just because maybe they're bored or for their own selfish reasons. So surely like people here are more expressive. So I
Mhm.
feel like um yeah, I just felt like it's just different. Even everything was just different. So it's like, okay, now I have to learn how to adjust to more. But at the same time, one thing I love America, and one thing I think I love America is that they follow the pace you want. You can't follow your pace. Tuition fee, you can, okay, how do you want to do your tuition fee? Do you want this and this? Do you want this and that? So
Mhm.
you kind of like follow through your pace. So you can be like $1 million debt here, but
Yeah,
you can keep paying as much like you follow your pace, you know what I mean? If regardless, even if you're a foreigner, you
yeah,
can
yeah,
follow. Back in Korea, it's more of like bali bali, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to pay attention, this, you have to pay. So it's like you don't have I didn't really have time to actually sit down and settle. Even till now, when I'm even working, I'm like, well, I have to do this. And they'll be like, girl, you're doing too much. Just do how as you can do. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's something different, yeah.
So for sure that let's start with that teacher or like professor. But by the way, I just remembered the Korean for professor, 교수님.
교수님.
So I actually really agree with you. So in here, growing up here in high school, university, and things like that, um, one was always kind of taught to always. They would always say, professors and teachers would be um, like ask all the questions you want, like never be afraid to like ask for, oh, can you say that again? Can you repeat that? Can you explain a little bit more? I think here they always made you not afraid to
Mm,
explain more, to tell me more, because I think that's always been a thing here of wanting to understand things better. But I can definitely see that in Korea, at least from just the class that, like, just for me, just the classes I took, people barely asked any questions at all, or like whatever, or like if a discussion was in there, like let's say I had one class, professor said, "Oh, would you guys rather have the class online through the computer or like in class?" Nobody said anything, and she was, "Oh, okay, then I guess." we'll just have it on a computer like regular. And I'm just like, I would rather like come to class because like, well, at least for me, from my point of view, just because like, um, I would say it was one of my first times being there properly. So it's like, yeah, coming to class, seeing more people, doing more things there. So it was kind of like shocking. And then during class, when certain discussions or topics would come up, nobody would say anything or question anything. I'm like, it's kind of weird because uh, I would usually hear somebody like, "Oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? Can you repeat or can you explain a little bit further?" But nobody said anything, so it was quite shocking to really see that. Just because I'm someone that's kind of in a mix of both. Like I'm someone that like when I really want to, um, like focus really, really intensely. I don't need to ask any questions because I'm too focused and I can understand things really well. But there are times where I do want to ask further questions to understand things better. So I think just because like how the class was not asking, I kind of felt like, oh, then, all right, maybe not ask too much. But to be honest, nothing was too difficult in order to like
Right.
have to ask questions. So it was like it was okay. It wasn't a big thing, but I think that's for
For
sure the big thing for sure.
I think for me, I didn't really care. I think I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really like for marketing class, I feel like even the professor was even like I feel like sometimes he was annoyed when I asked the question. It was, and
Yeah,
the thing is that I always make side comments. The
yeah,
marketing,
yeah. No, but you would always ask him though.
I'll always
Oh
because I
no,
feel like
he
because
he actually noticed when you weren't there. Like, oh, where's the room?
for me, I feel like as a professor or even as a teacher, if someone doesn't ask a question, it means you didn't do a good job.
Mm,
And literally one of my class, like we all wanted to go because NBA classes are 6 to 9, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Everyone wants to sleep at 6 p.m. So our professor asked, so does anyone have a question? Everyone was silent. This was here in America, right? He
mhm.
was like, okay, then I didn't do a good job. Let's start all over again. All of us were like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna ask a question.
Like there's actually a saying here. It's like, um, there are no dumb questions. The only dumb question is not asking a question.
And I feel like that is, I
That's
mean, there should be a limit because there are some really dumb questions that people do ask.
uh,
Not trying to,
I'm
but
usually one that doesn't fall on like there's no dumb questions. Like, sure, there's
but
ones where you're kind of like he
you're
just
like,
said it, he's kind of there, so I'm kind of like,
but the thing is that also here actually made me stop judging because okay, like the guy who said about the market thing, you know, is it a store? Is it a oh my man? I was like, and then our professor now started to talk about the types of market.
hmm,
And I was like,
yeah,
I never knew there were types of market. It was talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
social market, this market. And then, okay, and the law have their market. And so I was like, oh, so that brought up a different conversation
yeah,
for me.
yeah.
So here I stopped to, let's say, stop judging. I'm not a judgmental person, but I will judge you. But I'm not judgmental. So when I mean that, like I'm not gonna judge you by first sight.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
like I do have like, oh, this person is this, but I am willing to listen to you.
hmm,
You know what I
I got
mean?
you.
I'll give you an opportunity to defend yourself, even if I'm okay. This guy is stupid. Okay, prove to me you're not stupid. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like in my mind, I was already judging this guy. Like, okay, this guy's
yeah,
stupid. But let's go his way. And then when he was talking, he was like, because for me, he was trying to say because he was an IT major.
hmm,
He
yeah,
was trying to say because for me, when you talk about market in the IT, the market means be because he was in a B2B business. So for us, the
yeah, yeah.
market means other business. So it's like, oh, okay. Now I shouldn't have called this guy dumb, or I shouldn't have said this guy was a very. I
Hmm,
didn't call him dumb, but I shouldn't have. First of all, I shouldn't have given him the weird look. I should have like,
yeah,
you know. But that's what I'm trying to say. Because here, I think everyone's mind here works so differently, and because
for
it's so
sure.
diverse, it works so differently. It kind of opens more opportunity for you to understand and see from other people. So
Hmm,
like that dumb question ended up being a very intelligent question.
yeah,
And so part of me was like, oh, maybe I have to stop judging or stop having let's not judge it, but I stop having that. I should not be quick to react.
Mm.
Because even to now, even professors know, like my law professor, every professor I've met know my face, even if I sit in the middle. Because they'll say something, I'm like, I don't know, I don't know how to control my facial, excuse me, my facial expressions. But yeah, like it did really open that mind to me. So that's why hearing from America when they say there is no dumb question, I trust me, there's no dumb question because you're also learning from another person's perspective.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
was saying something about IT, what they mean by market. And then in the business especially we were teaching them what we meant by market. So it's like, I'm getting a 2+1 class. Yeah.
yeah. No, and definitely another thing, um, for sure. I felt the aspect of learning was different. What I mean by
Mm,
that, that thing where you said where over there it felt more like memorize, know how that works exactly the way it works, and don't kind of
mm-hmm,
like see differently. Here in America, for sure, I'll talk about my experience in university, for example. At UCF, there's a thing of becoming the one, what they say, is how to, especially in business world where there's so many people going into business,
mm-hmm.
where it's kind of different or difficult to really put yourself out there. So the main thing the university definitely said and definitely wanted you to think about was what would make yourself different? What
Yeah.
would
What is unique?
doing you differently than anybody else? What, diversity or what different aspect or different way of doing it? What new technology, what new aspect, what new creative idea, what new application of something that you can do is gonna make you different than that person.
The other
And I
person,
think
yeah.
that's completely different just because I think that comes a lot with, I think business here is a lot different just because I mean, America is like way, 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 way bigger. So there's way more people. And I think business in America is such a big thing where there's so many people competing for
For
not
this one
so
position,
many
that's
positions and stuff. So you always have to like, there's a big competition. So there's always an aspect of really like,
what
uh,
makes you different.
yeah, what makes you like really different. And I think that's the key difference here. I think in Korea, what it seems like, but obviously just from a little bit of time there and maybe a little bit of stories from the people I know and what I heard is like there it's a lot more okay, how was your education? Like if you went to a great school, then that's gonna help you a lot. And then like the people you know, obviously. But then like that tends to be like, okay, what was your grade standing or like where were you here? Where were you there? Here I think it's a little bit different just because like employers definitely want you to have experiences in a lot of different aspects of what would you bring to the company different than if I choose this person or something.
Another person, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like there's a bigger difference, I think, in the way to look at it. But I think that's more, and I can only say that in terms of like business, of like people going into like finance, management, HR, things like that. Who knows about other jobs? I haven't really delved into that in
Definitely.
different places, but um,
Yeah. Even like, oh sorry.
no, no.
Oh sorry. I feel like even in business, like even in Korea, like restaurants,
Mm,
you know. If you go to Korea, most restaurants are kind of like pistage similar.
um, yeah.
Then you do see some restaurants that do try to come up with a new idea and then like that, like that, like that. And um because in Korea, as I said, it's very homogeneous, but there are some restaurants and sort of like cafes that are very Korea got really good, unique cafes. So
Oh yeah.
creative wise, they good.
They
In
in the industry of cafe, I'm not gonna
yeah, Korea
lie,
is
Korea
good
is
in the
up there.
industry of
Like they're probably number one, number two, maybe.
right, say. But one
Like
thing
in
I
terms
understand,
because there's so many too. But that's the
There's
thing,
so
like
many.
there's so many that like you have to change. You
Yeah,
can't be the same
you can.
because
But
if
if
you
you ever notice, they all have the same drinks.
yeah, but that I don't mean that as far as change like that. I think that's always
Yeah,
gonna be
the
the same no
themes.
matter where you go. But
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's
the
what's gonna
way
be the
that you
thing.
can get people into your store is the most important.
Exactly. Korea has a different, especially with the interior designs, the
Yeah,
ideas,
for
like
sure.
those are they're Korea got good ideas, but I feel like it's also kind of a new thing that's coming up, which as I said, I
Yeah,
still respect Korea for opening up
for sure.
because for a country that is like small, that is Korea,
Yeah,
뭐 진짜 잘하네. 진짜
yeah.
I'm really proud of that. But yeah, that's just how it is. And hotels and stuff. And like one person was like, Korea is an opportunity where you can grow. It is a
Mm,
good opportunity to grow.
for sure.
But at the same time, I always say, first of all, my nationality is what hinders me in Korea a lot. Every interview I go for, even like I had like 3 interviews where they were like, yeah, we want you, but ordinara, or this kind of person. But here, kind of they don't really look here about yeah you if you have papers it's easy, but it's more of like you can find a place where it's like where are you from, or I'm from Nigeria. Being Nigerian doesn't hinder you from getting
Mm,
that job.
yep.
Of course there's some places that's like, oh, we just need people who have papers, or but they
Yeah,
don't say, oh, where are you from, oh, Nigeria, oh,
yeah. That's not
we
gonna work.
that's not a
Yeah,
kind of a thing here. There are people who do that, don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
it's not very common,
Yeah.
here. So that's one first thing. Second thing is here it's more of like they also want it because they want people like they want Nigerians to come. You know what I mean? Like America is okay, you're Nigerian, okay, you can go with the Nigerian market. But I felt like in Korea, because Korea is still trying to open up, but it was more of like, oh, we don't really need Africans, we need more of Europeans. So that's how I felt. And that's how it's like for the business side, especially the tour. Maybe they have changed. I heard they're changing. Like the job that wanted to get me, they had a South African to bring more African customers in it. So that's what I was saying, like um which it is, but Korea is gonna take time for Korea to be um I
To
don't say like America,
exactly.
but you know what I
Yeah,
mean? A little bit expand more.
for sure, for sure. Yeah,
It's gonna take them time, which is normal, which still, as you say, is still good.
yeah.
But for me, it's just more of like I cannot wait for them to open up in that situation. And as you said, like even Koreans here, most of them are like, "Oh, I want to get a green card." I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Korea, even in terms of like the passport power, Korea, like passport is more powerful than the American passport.
Yeah, yeah.
Korea has less enemies than the American have. America have a lot of enemies, but still they want to go. But it's just because of that freedom they have. Because I had this guy who graduated, so he'd have a lot of money, but he graduated a good school in Busan. Busan is like Gyeonggi-do area,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
because he did school in Seoul, he found it so hard to get a job. And then he came to America, spent 1 semester. My guy's he's worked for Amazon. So for them it's like there's more in America. Of course there's more competition, but what put him out there
Well,
was
there's
the
way
fact that he
more opportunities, dude. Way more.
and what put him outside is because he just knows how to speak Korean and English.
There you go. Yeah. Speaking
So
more
yeah, Korea.
languages.
So Korea is also a good way to what's the word? It's a good way to start and
Yep.
get that. Like what makes me unique. The only reason most of my professors know me is because they know me as the Black Korean girl. That's what most of my professors. That's what one of my professors calls me. He calls me the Black Korean girl. I'm not Korean, but because of that, so like yeah, Korea does give me that unique side of it. But you know, being in Korea, it's like there's really nothing. I feel like even if I have an idea, it's not or a very creative idea. It's like, you're not in our spectrum of this. so I don't want this.
Yeah.
Even I've worked with people, they're like, this is a good idea, but it's gonna make money in Korea, but it's not in the spectrum yet. It's not a trend yet. So, and also people are in Korea. I feel like people are a little bit shy to start a trend
Yeah.
in Korea. If you ever know it. Here in like
They're less
Nigeria,
they're less risk takers.
yeah, the rest too.
100%.
So it's like
Yeah.
very different. So for me, it's my like, and me, I'm Nigerian. So Nigerians are very, we're kind of in the middle. We're not too homogeneous and we're not too diverse. We're kind of in the middle. So everyone
Yeah.
is used to, I was saying in a point, we lean more to diversity side because different cultures. So for me, I feel like I relate more in an American aspect of diversity than that. So
No, yeah. 100%. I think, not saying, there aren't people that are risk takers in Korea, but the sense there has always been more conservative, um, think about other people more. Um, like you said, homogeneous country where it's like more about the Korean aspect of like people,
mm,
business, and taking care of that. But like you said, it's been really awesome to see more countries in the East really open up and really like expand more and see different horizons, different point of views. Um, just because, like I said, so many different cultures are so amazing and so unique and beautiful and awesome. So it's a lot awesome and more better when these are open out there and you can go to these countries and experience them, but also be able to share your own to experience these things together as one. So I think, having these countries open up more and really do that is awesome. And I hope that trend continues to see more people get more opportunities there. And obviously, it's still a growing country. I mean, there's
yeah,
so
yeah,
much left to like really expand and grow, and so many opportunities I'm sure in the future are going to come. And like that country is bound to really explode of like, whoa, this is, I mean, they already are huge. I mean, they have
right,
some of the biggest companies in the world, but like I think more and more is going to come out there, especially
right,
more because more of their culture is being shared now than ever.
yeah,
So many different aspects, TV, movies,
music,
gaming is big now over there. Many, game studios coming out.
yeah. Korea is definitely gonna blow up.
Yeah, music,
So
there's that country's gonna blow up and it's gonna be awesome, and so many more people are gonna go to it and it's gonna be awesome. But like explaining things here is like, yeah, there's not that um thing of like, oh, you have to be this in order to get this job here. It's more like, what makes you different? What could you bring to our
you
company?
can bring to the table what is different about
Yeah,
you.
why should I hire you instead of that guy?
Like
That's
that
the kind
guy.
of question you'll get here.
Yeah,
If I like a question somewhere else, you'd be like, oh, what was your standing, or who did you know, or what was this, or what was that over there? It's not more like what incredible new thing that you can bring to a company. It's
can you
not more
bring to
about
this
that than
company?
here. Here is like,
Yeah,
what's really going to change? What's really going to like be that thing where, okay, I need to hire you because you're going to bring something to my company that's going to help us grow, help us become bigger.
blow up.
That's a big thing here.
Or
I
like
think,
what oh, sorry, or what personality can I work with?
yeah. Oh, no, for sure. That's a huge thing here too. Like, can you
Here,
work with my team? Can you fit with my
that
team?
can you fit they don't ask you MBTI and stuff like that, like in Korea.
Um, Not that exactly, but they do
None
give you personality tests.
they do give you a personality test, but it's not like, oh, what's MBTI like in
No, no,
Korea.
no. It's
But
more like I had one recently. I took one and it was mostly asking like, okay, which one are you more likely?
you're more likely to
Um,
do, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And one was like, um, I'm more organized, like here, like I like to be planned, organized, or I like to be more friendly and outgoing and like talk to
Ongoing,
people.
yeah,
And you have
yeah,
to
yeah.
choose and stuff. So they ask you a bunch of questions like that, and they kind of figure out if you can work with the team. Because I think
Team
that's
or
a
what?
big thing of like fitting in an organization's mindset. It's super
Mm-hmm.
huge too.
Yeah, yeah, that's very different here.
And I think that's gonna just continue. I think those are great things because I think the beauty is being able to work with so many different people. And I think America does that really well of, like you said, people are just people here. Um,
There are people
no matter
here.
where you're from, your age, what you do, if you're together, there's so many more things that you're gonna able to do together and think about. And I think that's the beauty of so many people of like bringing their
Yeah.
cultures in together and really sharing those experiences, being able to have new ones at your work with these people,
Mm-hmm.
like, and to be able to like show them off, like, man, this is how we are, this is how I am, but the company we are allows us to be that and share that and care for each other, respect each other, and do all that. Like, I hope that continues to further because there's so many countries that aren't like that, that can't do that. That
Mm-hmm.
sadly, things aren't as easy or flexible that way. They always make you do one way or have to do it and maybe don't allow you to just be you. I think that's one thing America's
Good
super
at,
ahead
yeah.
in a lot of different ways for sure. And I think
Yeah, definitely.
that's the beauty for sure of a lot of those things. But yeah, the culture is, I mean, like you said, there's so many different things. That was quite shocking for me when I went to Korea, the prices of certain things, fruits. Like I was just like, what? Oh my goodness, a
Don't
watermelon
get
costs
me
what?
food.
And
Don't
the
get me
grapes
with
cost what?
food.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Don't
Um,
get me with food. Like,
Missing Spanish food for sure. Like,
for me, okay, one bad thing about me, or one thing I find as a disadvantage in Korea in America is the food. Everywhere I'm like, okay, guys, what restaurant should we go? Chick-fil-A.
hmm, people don't. I agree with you there. Actually, people don't really like. Some people, I'm not gonna say every, but most people, I'd say, don't really think out of the box when it comes to food.
I'm
Mm.
not saying
They go
Chick-fil-A
to
is not is
no,
bad,
no, no, no. I
but
know what you
it's
mean, but
like,
like all the time, constantly.
yo,
I know
man,
what you mean.
we had Chick-fil-A for 5 days straight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Part of me is that I want to eat some tteokbokki, or I want to eat some
Ooh.
ramen. Like as I said, Korean food is also very homogeneous, but
Uh,
like tteokbokki, there's roast tteokbokki, there's tteokbokki, there's this, that, and you know what I mean? No, you could just switch up. They could go to this like this person, you know what I mean?
yeah.
There's jjajangmyeon tteokbokki, but here I was like, food is expensive. I was like, so I was like, okay,
Compared to
let's
Korea,
go.
yeah.
Like they had the, Japanese place, and they would just do the fried rice. Indirectly, it's just leftover rice. I'm not sure, but like, I felt like it was just rice, soy sauce, and veggies. I could do that at home. So my friend was like, she wants to take it, and it was like $20. And then I tasted it, and I was like, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's bad,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but it's just like
No, I agree with you there.
what?
That to me was shocking when I went to Korea of like all the different foods that you can have. And it felt so like different, new, awesome, but so
Yeah,
like
even if
not
it's
calling it
like
cheap bad. Like cheap is I'm not saying cheap is
no,
bad,
because
but
that's
like
what I'm saying.
the
That
price
is very
comparison is like
in
you can
America.
eat in
You're right.
Korea, you can eat out in Korea like
I
easy,
was saying like
fun,
I was even
different.
like showing my friends like, oh yeah, I used to eat this, I used to eat that. Like they're like,
Yeah.
dude, you got so much money. And they were like, I was like, oh, the price is like, oh, man, on like $8. You're like, wait,
It,
what?
no less. Like
Like
9,000, 10,001 was like $7, $6 here.
$7. And I was like, yeah, we like 10 man one, you can have a good lunch.
You have
Especially
meals too. Good
you can have a
meals.
meal and it's really good. And with the panchan, with the side dishes,
Ooh.
even if you got no money, the side dish is gonna help you. And
Kimchi
water
jjigae. Kimchi jjigae.
water is free in Korea, most restaurants. Here, not so much. I
I
was
agree.
like, you know. So I just felt like here, just like, oh, okay, I cannot even go. Even here, I don't even go out. I cook more now. I'm just like, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
People are like, hey, do you want to go out? I'm like, okay, what do you want to eat? Chick-fil-A.
I need to go visit you so we can like explore food there.
Because it's a small city. It's a small,
And go somewhere
trust.
else.
I want to go to another state.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what?
Not
Let's plan a
state.
road trip.
Yeah, I want not Virginia is not it's not like Virginia, however, but the place I'm in is a very
Yeah,
small county.
yeah, yeah.
Like my university have my univer my university owns the whole city. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, but people are coming in, but it's like a countryside. It's not really a city.
Yeah, yeah.
So of course the diversity is not as much. If I was, of course, like in Texas, like Texas, you could find one thing about the city is that you
Everything.
can find like a good place with that's affordable. Like you can find like a food truck or whatever, that
Yeah, yeah.
that like whatever. But here, we're just like first of all, the food.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's
Let's plan that. That would be fun. A road trip.
I was like, yo. I was like, why y'all eat here? I was gonna tell my American, like my Nigerian friend who had me here. He was like, dude, I've increased $10, like 10 kg just be eating Chick-fil-A. Like,
Oh, that's one thing that really blew my mind. Like the
what?
food in terms of like what you can eat and like the food there is so much more natural and so much less like
Oh
harmful.
yeah,
It's
well
like
yeah.
not even close. I mean, like,
Mm.
eating in Korea, you can eat out every day and you'll be good. You'll be feeling like, all right, like I'm good, I'm healthy. But yo, you eat out here every day, you're gonna
You're
feel
not healthy. You need Jesus. You don't need the hospital. You need Jesus.
you're
No, no,
gonna definitely be like by like two,
yeah, I
3 days,
couldn't
you'll
even
be like,
I
oh,
can't even buy food. As I said, also I'm in the countryside, but I cannot even buy and eat food all the time outside.
yeah,
Even
no,
if
you can't.
even buying like chicken, I'm scared because I know some chicken they have like the antibiotics in it. I was like some. Don't get me wrong, other countries do that. Korea might
Yeah,
do that,
yeah.
but at the same time, I said Korea, America is a really mass. So
Yeah, so like doing those
so for
things, I
me,
mean, it's kind of
yeah, so for me,
necessary.
I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like in terms of food, I find it like very, very
No, it's
mm,
different. It's for sure different. Like
different. Yeah.
that's the
And
word
then
for it.
like one person was like, I think I had a game like, will you rather eat ramen for the rest of your life or eat burgers? And I was like, part of me
Hmm.
rather eat ramen. I don't know, maybe I'm too Korean. I'm
What
too
kind of
Korean.
ramen though? Just a
At
regular?
this point, I don't even care. Because for me, like I don't eat like if you live in Korea, I eat hamburgers once in 3 months. Because
Yeah.
for me, hamburger is not even considered as a food
No, it's
back in
not.
Korea.
In Korea, no.
Here, because I don't
No,
like
but
mac
like
and
in
cheese.
Korea, like eating is like a meal.
It's a
Here is
meal.
like a burger. It's like considered a meal here, which is
A
like,
meal here, yeah, that's what I'm
mm,
saying. Like Korea, burgers is not a meal. Burger is
no,
the
yeah.
burger because uh,
But that's
uh,
like a cultural difference too, you
it's
know.
a very big culture difference here. But
Like
also one thing I
restaurants
like
there are
about
more like,
Americans,
okay, like many people own those restaurants, but they've been cooking for all their lives and been doing
yeah,
their certain, famous dish, their thing
famous,
that they love.
yeah.
So it's like
But one
completely
thing
different
also
aspect.
I love about America is that you can also eat other food compare like other nationalities' food
Oh,
compared.
for sure.
Yeah. So
You'll
it's as
find
I
you'll
said,
find food here from everywhere.
I was like, do you guys know there's a place called Auntie something is in South America? Auntie something something. I was like, I didn't even know it was in the map. And I was like, I love geography. I studied map, but I didn't
No,
know it
but
was in
like,
map.
yeah, I'm here. I
I was
mean,
like, it's
you
crazy,
can go
but
anywhere. Greek, Greek food, like you said, South American food, Central America,
yeah.
Europe, Asian food, African. Like you can find literally everything here in America. Like But that's the beauty of America. There's so many different people here that share so many different
Yeah,
things. Food, culture, you know, I think those are the biggest differences that people see when they come here. They're like, whoa, there's literally everyone of everywhere here. And that's awesome. So I think that's
right. So yeah.
a
So
big
yeah, it's not like yeah, I feel like that's a good and bad of it.
good at that.
It's good and bad of it.
All right. Well, as you guys just heard, that was Zerona's stories and how she's been. So I guess I'm a little bit after that. I won't go too into deep of mine because mine wasn't definitely not as crazy as her and having to change her life and everything. But just a little bit of what I wanted to share of mine was just interesting, just because like I said in mine, my injuries definitely made me realize a lot of things. I
Mm,
think the first one that definitely jumps to mind was the aspect of like taking things for granted. Um,
mm,
when I got injured and was like literally on my bed, not able to like stand up or like move around, and literally there was a point where my hand I could not press a button because it hurt,
mm,
and I was like, "Yo, this is like crazy in so many different ways." Just because like that's never happened to me before, and I'm like, I can't even press a button. And that
mm.
really like shocked me in a way that like have I been taking things for granted of all these little things I'm able to do. Walk around, do whatever I want, press a button to watch something, to change
Oh,
something,
excuse me.
to do all these things is like crazy. And I never realized just how blessed we are to do all that whenever we
Mm-hmm.
can. And that really like blew my mind and it really changed me in terms of like, okay, I have to realize definitely now that I'm able to do all these different things and to have these experiences, these opportunities that I've had in my life and be able to do all that. It's definitely like something that I think I thought about before, but never really like put super much thought into. So it was like really mind blowing to really see what was going
See.
on with myself then. So it was like, okay, like this is definitely mind blowing in a lot of different ways. So it definitely changed my mind about that. Like I have to take things
Mm,
more take things more heavy now and like understand like wow like being able to do these things, play sports with my sister, to walk with my dad somewhere, to watch sporting events, to do
excuse
these
me.
different aspects of daily life and enjoying my life has been I think not noticed as much before. So now after that I was like, well okay, like it changed it a lot for sure. And then the second thing was really like I'm someone that I told you before that I enjoy having time to myself, but I'm definitely someone that enjoys being around people.
People.
Um, so trying to deal with the injury by myself was kind of interesting just because like I was able to do it and kind of be all right, but it was definitely
Excuse me.
different in terms of I think there was a new emotion in terms of like um a different kind of like loneliness in a way. And what I mean is not loneliness in terms of more like being by myself or like something like that in terms of like relationship or anything like that, but more in terms of like having someone around constantly to always make sure you're okay and make sure like they're there for you. And at the beginning of my injury, that was definitely hard and definitely like, do I have people around me and stuff like that? And it was
Mm, mm. It makes
kind of
you
something I didn't.
question
Yeah,
your
yeah.
relation.
It definitely made me like kind of like see what was going on in terms of like my feeling or things like that. And at the time, there was a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and honestly, I was reaching out, and um, I kind of used that time to really kind of see how people were, in terms of like, oh, did they check up on me? Because I'm someone that tends to be really open in terms of sharing my life and stuff. So if some of you know me and things, you probably notice I share a lot of, especially during that time of my injury. I like to share things that I do, so when people reach out to me, I know okay, they're kind of interested in that. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I paid attention to that, and definitely just figured out like my family's always been there. So like spending time with them, it's just been, I think, really good in a lot of ways because I was able to talk with them more, spend time with them more. Um, recently, my mother had a birthday, uh, literally a couple, oh,
Oh
maybe a
yeah,
week ago, 2 weeks ago.
a week ago.
Yeah, so super happy with her, spending time with her. My parents, my dad was over with his wife, and luckily that didn't become like a thing before where like they're enemies and stuff. Like they're okay now. And I'm happy about that. And it's been like that for a little bit, or for a while. And luckily that's never been an issue. My parents care about us and the family as a whole, so it's always been good. And then
Mm-hmm.
I had my birthday literally like a month before that.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm even older. Thanks, Zarona. So now I'm even older. So it's like another year where like another year of growing and like, oh
Another
man,
year
time is
being an
just flying by.
ajushi.
Yeah, I'm an Ajishi guys, another she, but another year growing and learning and just like wow, like years are just going by and I really have to enjoy it now. Like time is going by too quickly, so I have to really enjoy it more, spend the time with my family more. But I guess I'm still trying to learn like people and the people that I want to keep around. I'm still kind of learning that along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll get better at that. And yeah, I definitely kind of figured out hmm, who's really here and who's really not during this time a little bit. Not gonna
Mm-hmm.
say like everyone, just because like there are certain things that I know that were going on, especially in Zerona. Like me and Zerona haven't talked really, really super much since then. Maybe at the be like before I left Korea, and maybe a month after, we were still quite talking quite a lot. But then after that, since her basically her trip here, it's been kind of like difficult to catch on her. But it's because I mean, like, come on, she moved to a different country. She's dealing with all these different things, classes, getting her master's. That's a lot of time there. And obviously, I know that Zerona is someone that cares a lot about people, and she's Zerona. Come on, so like, so that's understandable. So
But I
like
mean,
her,
I
like I'm,
texted
I'm
you.
super happy that we're back now, and I get to see her because I haven't seen Zerona in
Yeah. I mean, I've
since.
made fun of him, but
I mean,
uh,
she makes fun of me, but obviously it's all love. This is a family. Like I consider Zerona literally part of my family. Like Zerona can really.
I'm the annoying younger sister he never wanted.
Well, I mean, I do have a younger sister, and a little bit of.
That you never wanted.
She's the other sister that's like, but no, she's family, and I really appreciate her. But definitely for sure, I'm super happy to have a podcast back and definitely get this started and really better for this new season that we have, and super excited. We're gonna have guests again, have these awesome people. Maybe even do a little bit more of like people that we really know, and have them come here and discuss how we met. What was that like? And maybe get a little bit further of like what our personalities are, maybe a little bit more compared to um, how me and Zerona are exactly. Maybe we can. I have someone in mind that right now that is sitting with me, but we'll see. But no, yeah, I'm super excited. It's been, a long ride. Zerona with everything that she's been going, but with me as well. My injuries, we're back. I'm basically 100%, like 90-ish%. But that's because I'm still a little bit weak in certain areas. But basically, by the end of the month, I should be back to 100%. I'm excited to start looking for the next maybe area I want to go to, the next thing I want to do. So maybe look forward to that later down the road. The Ronald's doing her thing in their masters, so it's gonna be exciting to see her journey on that, what she wants to do with that, where she's gonna work. That's gonna be super cool. Like finally seeing
I'm
Jerome
tired already.
and her steps to her career choice and what she wants to do. I think that's gonna be super exciting topics. And yeah, season two is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun. Uh, Super happy we're able to do this. We should. Zorana said Fridays should be our days of like meeting, so hopefully, Fridays we'll do it on maybe Saturday night, Sunday. I will
Mm,
upload it, so you'll get your podcast episodes then. I'll be so look forward to that. Um, Maybe at the beginning I'll be getting used to doing all the edits again in terms of like putting our handles and stuff there. So if you want to reach out or something, ask us questions or whatever. Um, that might take me like a week or 2 weeks to like figure it out again. But it's been a long time. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting. And then honestly, since we're back and since you guys are family, of course, we can never end the show without this is Saruna's question of the podcast.
oh, Jarna's random question. I've never, I
So
didn't
that's
think about
so Saruna, maybe what I know I haven't given you time to think about it, but take your time and think about something that you would want to ask. I'll let her think, and I'll just maybe say a little bit of things of like, yeah. Uh, so there's my actual diploma from UCF, so that's mine back there. But yeah. So and like I said during my trip, I finished, graduated, finally finished with everything. Super excited to get started. Still planning on working the same way I did, going to different countries and stuff. That's definitely my plan. We'll see, especially now. Um, we'll see how that goes off. Maybe not at the beginning, but definitely I plan on doing that. I want to definitely explore the world or something. We'll
it.
see.
Okay,
Nope.
got it.
All right, let's go. Is everyone next
I don't
question?
know if I've asked this one. If you were cutlery, I've asked that one.
If you're
If you're
about
cutlery, like a cutlery, what cutlery will you be?
Court Larry,
Yeah,
where's that?
cutlery, like a fork, a spoon,
Oh, that's what. Okay. My focus.
fork, spoon, knife, chopsticks. What cutleries are there?
Chopsticks. Mhm.
Chopstick is a cutlery.
Yeah.
What other cut? Or yeah,
No, I don't think you guys.
if you were a cutlery.
Hmm.
For me, I think I'll be a spoon
Say why? Because I was actually thinking of saying the same.
because I
Let
carry
me
it.
say mine, because mine was kind of stupid.
Okay, you say it.
I was thinking about a spoon, just because
Why?
one of my favorite dishes is like soups. And soups is like, wait. But there's so many different kinds of soup from different cultures and stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
like, I'm a spoon because I like different cultures and aspects of people. So it's like, I can experience all these things or be all these things from like being a spoon because all these different dishes and stuff like that. And um, I like being wholesome in terms of being someone that always tries to improve themselves and become better. And I think spoon being round in terms of being wholesome and something whole, something full, something that like I think no matter where you go, I think you always see a spoonish type thing because it's always rice is everywhere, soup is everywhere. So there's so many different things, and I kind of see the spoon as like the world. It's round,
Mhm.
circle, and there's everything. So and yeah, and then I don't know. People, my funny joke I'm about to say. So don't say it, everyone. But I saw my mother when today or yesterday, and she literally said that my head was shaped as a spoon. So she basically called my head. really, really big. So I took that as a compliment, hopefully, because I have a big brain.
I didn't say
I'm
it.
getting
He said
old.
it.
No, my mother said it. My mother said it.
His mother said it.
That's
So
why I
if
think it's
I
around
feel
us family because like if my mom is insulting me, I mean I can take it from her.
so, that's what I'm saying. If I make a reference with that, y'all bear me witness that Mr. Spoon over here.
Oh, dang.
Set it up, I never called this a Mr. Spoon, so you know who is Mr. Spoon.
Yo, but spoon in America can mean a lot of different. You don't know that. You
Anyways,
probably don't know that yet.
Victoria, I don't know that.
Do you know the meaning of spoon here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hmm. So, yeah, I also say spoon because I feel like, I carry, you know, I'm a very real person, but I think I'm more of like a fork
Why?
in a way that um I could be mean. I could not mean, but I could present myself as like people might think I'm mean, but at the
Okay.
same like how to say not a bitch or mean, but when you first meet
So
me,
maybe you're not canon.
no, 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 Karen, no, no. Karen is more of like a knife for me. I don't know why. Like a
Yeah,
tablespoon knife. You know what I mean?
little tables.
The tables, not like the big knife, but like the tablespoon,
Not like a
like the ones
butcher
they
knife.
use.
Are you
No,
sure?
not the butcher. Don't. She if she watched this show,
She will.
she's gonna she's gonna
She was actually super excited to have us back. So she will
she
be.
she's gonna go all on you. She's gonna and we're gonna invite her again. Where me and her,
Oh,
she's gonna trash talk.
we should invite her back.
So she's gonna trash talk you. But she's more of like a spoon. So I think Karen is more of like a table knife.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, because her shape is kind of like
Oh, so you're calling her like thin?
she is a thick,
I mean,
thin person. She's
this is
tall
true.
and she is like a
Slender, slender, slender,
model
slender.
shaped person. Okay.
Slender,
But
yeah.
also she's like and I said she does look bitchy, but at the same time she's like
I mean,
really
she
nice.
said it with her own mouth.
But she spreads love, but she looks dangerous, but she spreads love.
That's love and dangerous.
That's why I call her a knife. But for me, I feel like
But
I'm a
I was
what?
gonna say, um, Karen, she, I agree with you. Like, she has that look of like being intimidating
Yeah,
and,
she's like, oh,
and
I don't
scary.
want to talk to her.
But
But
then when you talk to
yeah,
her, she's like really nice.
but
But
when you meet her,
I think a good knife example was she's also very direct.
yeah, she's also very direct too. Yeah.
And a knife can
But
be
not like mean direct.
no truthful, honest. Like she's an honest,
On yeah, like
truthful.
when
Like
like if she
yo,
tells you
if you're messing up or you're really doing something bad, like
mm-mm.
I've heard her in class. Something's happened and like she'll just tell the person like directly, "Yo, what the-"
Yeah, and I feel like she's the kind of person that you want to know the truth from. She's not like, oh, you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
this messed up. Blah, blah, blah. No,
She'll
no, no.
only tell you the truth.
She only tell you the truth. She'll be like,
Yeah.
or she'll just look at you like, but what are you doing? But
Yeah.
yeah, Karen is she's I haven't even talked to her. Oh my god, I feel guilty for that. But yeah.
I haven't well a
Um,
little bit, but no, no.
um, what was I saying again?
You, the fork.
Me. Oh yeah. So I think well first of all, if you know me, I have kind of two sides. Um I have kind of two sides. I could be very, very, very um what's the word? I could be very, 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 very direct in a way and be like, no, I don't want that kind of thing. But I can also be very, very like reserved and be like, okay. Like I don't know how to say it. Like how to say it. I feel like I have not two personality, but depending on the
Mood
situation where
situation. Mhm.
I can be very serious. Like if I'm reading or I'm studying and you talk
Yeah.
to me, I would not like you can talk to me from now to tomorrow, I will block you. I would not even talk to you. But at the same time, this person that, woo,
You know what? I can
I
see
would
that. I
tell
can see
you
that being a trait.
everything. This person. I would know what happened in in another in another school, even if I never went to that school, that's just me. But at the same time, I feel like um there's a gap between me and that. And I'm always someone who wants to experience different things, but not fully experience it. I just want to like take a taste of it.
Take a little dig, but then bring it out. And oh, want to try
Yeah,
something else.
that's me.
You know
Yeah,
what? Yo, that fits
you know,
really well.
you know what I mean? Like, see, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna take a trip in Korea. I don't plan then like I don't plan to stay in America for as long. I already planning my next place to Japan and then after
Ooh. Why didn't you tell
Germany.
me this?
And after, but I have no money, man. This is my thought. That's what I'm saying.
Yo.
I'm still young,
Oh,
but like, yeah,
don't say
like
yo like
my
I'm
plan,
gonna like pay for you, but like yo, when you planning it, let me know.
like my plan is when I come to America, just get a little dip of America. The next step is Japan or Malta. I don't know. Malta has been in my mind. And then Germany. I need to go to Germany. I must find. I see. So that's what for me. And like even in languages, like I never fully learn a language, but I'll just learn different things of a language. Like
Basic.
Korean, I'm not very like maybe I'm like beginner intermediate in Korean, but I'm already starting to learn another like French. I was beginner intermediate in French, and then I went to Korea, and now I'm Japan, like Japanese, and like this, like that, like that. So I'm like someone who wants to have a taste of everything in
Alright.
that certain way. And I'm also someone who can be like, as I said, I can be judgy, but also really ready to listen to you. Like I have a very like my face would be like when you're talking, if you never notice when sometimes when Brian is talking, I'm like, what? But at the same time when I listen to him, I'm like, hmm. So I feel like it goes up and down, up and down. Like I have that sharp side, but also and I'm like someone who likes to take a dip of everything. And please do not get your man out of the gutter when I mean I want to take a dip of everything. Get your man out of the gutter when I said that. Uh
You're the one that brought it up.
I'm just trying to well,
Anyway.
that's what I'm trying to say. And what else is it? I wanted to say something. A personality of a fork is like it's like someone who is like how to say I feel like a spoon person is someone who's very patient,
Mm.
who's ready to listen. You're more of like that, but I feel like a fork is like fork is a symbol of like someone like fork is someone who is like not it's just like is like I don't say would I say not stable.
They're more have a more emotion, put more sense into it.
Yeah, they're more emotional. They're just like there, but not fully there.
I got you. I got you.
If you I don't know if that
I
makes
know, like,
sense.
because with work, obviously, you have your at the end, your sticks, but then they have the curved in. So like maybe you have like your emotions can be high, but then they have a little.
Yeah, like they're like
Yeah, yeah. I get what you
yeah,
mean.
that's me. I'm a
Get what you mean.
I don't know how to describe it, but I'm a
Yeah, looking up and down, maybe feeling at times.
yeah, feeling wise, but
Yeah,
I'm not crazy, that crazy. But
are you sure?
but I'm fun. See, I'm fun crazy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
I'm a fun crazy
I can
person.
kind of
But
agree with
like
that
in
too.
terms of because like for me, I'll do try to be patient. Like that blunt side of the blunt side of a like fork is sharp and has a space. I would try and give you that space. And also one thing about me is that barriers. So I would give you that space,
Okay.
but at the same time, in that middle of the space, I might say something harsh or I might just lose my patience or I might, especially when it comes to
Mm,
emotions. So like I would curse you out and then I'll be like, and I would have time for myself. And then I'll, in that same day, or like maybe 2 hours later, I might like apologize to you, you know.
I
So
got you. I got you.
emotion
Yeah, yeah.
wise,
Motion rides higher. Yeah.
um, As I said, it doesn't mean I'm, and it's like, yeah, that's why I would say probably I'm a fork. I thought I was a spoon, but I was like,
Not a
um,
fork. I think from the things you explained, really does fit you really well. For
like,
sure.
yeah, someone who is able to like stab and then let go, you know? Like I would like I have an I will stab your heart and then let it go.
Jeez. If you're saying this with a fork, what would you say about Carol with the knife? So she's
No,
just
not
straight
no,
up
but she's a
emotional.
table knife.
Yeah, so she doesn't, so she can cut but not cut like,
Yeah, she can cut but not cut your heart.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like like even if she cut, she can cut you like a table knife. You know what a table
I
knife
mean,
is,
yeah,
right?
I know what a
You
table
mostly
knife.
use it like you use it to like, for example, when you want to eat like something it cuts, but it's not dangerous. Like carrot, like what I'm like Karen can go. She can like when she says something, when she says the truth to you, it hits you,
Yeah.
but it
How does
doesn't
she
like, but it doesn't like offend you. It doesn't hit you deep down. You're old, so you definitely maybe not understand.
I get you. I
But yeah,
get
that's
I
what
get you.
yeah, so that's what I mean that she's a fool. Who else?
No, but
Okay, what who else do you think of your friend? Let's say Junjae. What do you think Junjae is? Or Jaejun?
by the way, either way you say it's fine with him. I asked him about it. He just don't like either way. But that's an interesting one.
I feel like he'd be a chopstick. I feel like he'd be chopsticks because
I I would kind of agree with you. You know what? I'm gonna make something completely different. I'm gonna go hybrid with him.
mm-hmm,
Hybrid, like let's say one end spoon, one end like chopstick.
mm-hmm,
And what I mean by that is Jejun is one of the most mm, humbled friends that I've ever like
mm-hmm,
met, and someone that's so like the word I used wholesome in terms of like
mm-hmm,
the kind of person he wants to be, the kind of person he is to people, and the amount of respect he has for everyone, and the patience and the caring. He was always there. I mean, literally, like the last day we were, no, the last day I was there, or maybe it was the last couple days. We went to the park. Remember? Had that fun time.
Oh
We stayed there
yeah, yeah.
all night.
We stayed there all night.
Yeah, we stayed at
Woof.
Han River all night. Oh, that was crazy. That was fun though. But that was a great time. I mean, I have a video of Zerona dancing on the lake from a dare we did from that night. But it was like we did a picnic at Han River and we stayed there literally all night.
Right.
I took the train at like 6 in the morning or something, 7 in the morning, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we did take, yeah.
But no, like this is the kind of person Ginger is. He me and him left as dropped off Cerrone and Amaya basically
Right.
at the train station that they needed to go to. He
Mm-hmm.
went with me to the train station I needed to go to. Went there, walked with me, talked with me, and literally we got basically inside the train station, and it was like right there for me to go. He started crying. He cried and like was like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you, my friend." And like he gave me a huge hug, and I hugged him, and I was like, I'm so sad to leave, but like so happy to see you again and spend time, and thank you for like tonight and everything. And he was like, this is awesome, and like um, we were so close that he was like, I can't wait to see you again, but like he told me like from his words, like he sees me as someone like we're gonna be there for like our wedding and such. Like
Mm.
he's that kind of person, like so close, so humble, so awesome. And when I saw him crying, I was like, this is gonna be a friend for life, like for sure. So that's why I find him as someone who's a spoon, kind of like me, because I think we both have that feeling of wanting to be good people with having good people around us, but being good to them, sharing that love, that care, that aspect. But then I say a chopstick as well, just because I think Jadun is so unique in a lot of different ways too.
Mm.
he's unique in a lot of the aspects that he wants to be, the type of person he is. Because he's someone
That's what
that's
I'm saying.
really like me, but different as well.
Mm, mm-hmm.
He's someone that enjoys a lot of things that I kind of like, but he likes them way more. Pottery, art, exhibitions that have that artistic point of view that's so different. I like that too, but it's not to that point where he's like that. He's also someone that enjoys um doing meeting so many different people, but doing so many different things. And but he also has that aspect of Korean culture that he loves so much, and you can tell from like what he wants to do in the future. Doing pottery, but of Korean culture, the Korean aspect, of Korean heritage, and he wants to do that for his life later on, and that's something that I find super awesome and super amazing. So I think I put the chopstick in terms of not like him or talk about like race and things like that, but like of the culture person he is and the type of person he wants to be in the future and the kind of different aspect to him that is like different than me. He sees things a little bit different than me, but it's so awesome because we can combine those things and we make such good friends, and it's so cool to have that kind of person around me. So I kind of want to do like a
Mm-hmm.
mix bag with him, like a hybrid in terms of a spoon and a chopstick in one. It's like really
Chopsticks.
kind of like how I see him in a way like that. It's very unique. He's someone very special for sure. And Brett, my other friend, he's actually in Korea right now too. Um, so they've been able to meet, and I've been told like, oh, they had dinner, but they were like, oh, I wish Brian was here and stuff like that. Like those are people you want to have around. So I miss those guys dearly. Hope to see them at some point again in the future. They were talking about next year. I think Jijun's coming to America, so um, it's either next year or the year after. I'm not sure. I think it's next year. He said. But no, for sure, if he's here, like I'm gonna be going to wherever he is. We're gonna be spending time, so it'll be fun. And then I think the year after that is Europe. So,
Mm.
um, so if he does that, then shoot, I might go too. And then we can see Brett over there, spend time together over there. So that'll be interesting. But went a little bit divergent, a little bit, but yeah, I think that's kind of how I see them. And then for me, the spoon, you kind of said like patience and stuff. I think that is me in a little bit just because I tend to be patient with people in terms of wanting to hear them out, wanting to be someone that's always around for people. I care for people a lot. I care for my family a lot. And I just really like the whole world being someone that's connected in a way that we can share all these different aspects. I like learning new languages, cultures, traveling. So being able to have all these wholesome things to me is so important. That's why I consider myself a food, and I like you said, going into different aspects. Um, the spoon you can use for rice, soups, and things like that. So it's cultures, people, um, all these different things. I think the spoon fits me pretty well, I
Yeah.
guess. But who knows? I mean, I guess another thing we can do is you in the comments.
Tell us
Tell
what
us
you
what
are.
we are. Yeah, tell us what you
Tell us
think.
what tell us what we are. Yeah.
Tell us what we
Also,
are, or what you think we are, and it'd be interesting to hear what the response would be. If they're on a scale
yeah.
of 4, who knows? Or if
Maybe
I'm so
I am up for it because I feel like I'll leave a mark at you. Like I'll leave an impression on you, even if I leave. You know what I mean?
even if I
But yeah.
leave. Oh gosh.
Um, you
Okay.
know what I mean? Because you know when you use a fork, you know someone used a fork. You know that impression is there, whether good or bad. It
Maybe
is for me.
maybe depending on what you have.
Forget about spaghetti, but just imagine just
No, but
right now
like
when I'm
let's say
thinking
you
about
get you cut piece of like steak or something. You grab the
but you know
piece,
what I
so it's
mean.
like you left it, but
But the mark of the fork can still be noticeable.
that's true. If you leave the piece that you like grabbed it on to cut
Yeah,
before.
of course. That's what I mean.
Okay. Because I meant like if you just cut it and then grab the piece you just cut off and then bite it. You just bit it, so you can't
No,
eat.
not that, but don't
I
stop
got
thinking.
you.
I know
I
you're
got you.
hungry. I know you're hungry.
Nah.
Uh, why I said that Junjay is a chopstick is at the
Oh
skill
yeah.
is because I feel like he looks like very fragile, but he's very
Ooh.
skillful. And
Skillful?
people, yeah, you need skills to know how to eat, to use chopsticks. You know what I mean? You need skills. Trust me, there's some people, it took me two
Oh,
years to learn how to
for some
use
people for sure.
chopsticks.
No, 2 years?
Trust me, it took me 2 years to learn how to use chopsticks. Till
I
now, I'm still not the perfect person of chopsticks, but
I
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For some people, it's like,
that's
oh,
true.
like
Some
my
people.
brother. Yeah, for my brother, like for me, I think because I didn't have a choice. Like even the way I use chopsticks, it's like it's not really the perfect way, but somehow I found a place to put it all through. And sometimes it still slips on my hand. So, but yeah, why I say chopsticks is because I say Ginger is like I don't know him that well like you, but what I've understood, he's like very like fragile in a
In what
way.
way you mean?
In like like chopsticks, there's the metal chopsticks, there's the wooden chopsticks.
Yeah.
So in that perspective, I'm thinking about like the normal wooden chopsticks, like when we're eating like with the chickens, like the wooden ones that can.
Yeah.
So it's very fragile, but it looks fragile. And say it looks fragile. I'll say it's very. Like, I don't know how Junjay is like personally, whatever, but
Hmm?
he looks fragile. If you guys know Junjay, is very cute, very have that innocent.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks fragile, but I feel like it's also something that requires a lot of patience and a lot of skill. And it's something that when it holds something very precious. Because if you notice in all the utensils, if you use a spoon to eat soup or rice, some part may fall.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you use a fork, it might fall.
Yeah.
But when you have chopsticks and you hold something with chopsticks, because you hold it so tight, it's hardly gonna fall.
Okay. I think I know where you
So you know what I mean? So I feel like Ginger is someone like he's like once he gets something he loves or something that he finds precious,
he holds it
he
dearly.
holds it. Yeah, that's why in my
Ooh, I
perspective,
like it.
that's
Yeah.
why I thought yes. Oh my god, I'm a utensil therapist.
Therapist? You a
Yeah,
therapist?
dude.
I don't know if that's the right word, but I get it. No, that's good because like
Or
that goes exactly to the
psychologist.
sentiment I told you. The
That's
sentiment
what
of
I'm
him
trying to say.
crying.
It's like yeah, it's like
Yeah.
once he I feel like as I said, I don't really know him personally, but I feel like he's someone that once he finds something very precious or something he loves, you know, and when using a chopstick, he holds it and he's not gonna let it go. And then maybe he doesn't want to let it like maybe he's like, oh, this is not how it is. He could just like let it go. But I feel like that's how Junji is, like from the idea I've seen about him. So that's why I would
Mhm.
say he's a chopstick because he looks fragile. Like I'm looking at because I'm thinking about the wooden chopsticks. It looks fragile, but at the same time it requires a lot of skill and it's something that will hold and not
Ooh, I
want to
like
let
it.
go.
Skilled in terms of what he wants to do, but like you said, the holding part. When he has something he cares about, like holds it dearly. So it's
You
what
hold it.
he cares
So
about.
that's one thing I feel like I have noticed
Friends, family,
from the friends. Yeah, yeah. I
things.
think yeah, kind of miss you. Like I don't know. She's more of a table knife to me. I'm still saying it. She's a table
A
knife.
Latina knife?
A what?
What did you just say?
It's a Kerem. Kerem is like a table knife to me.
Table knife. Okay. I
Table
heard
knife.
something completely different.
Table knife. Because as I
Okay.
said, she would cut through
But
you.
she would have cut someone.
That's what I'm saying. She would. When I feel like table knives are used to divide things. You know what I mean? They don't really cut. They're used to, so she could divide. Not I won't say divide it, but she could open up to like she can open like how to say touch the inside of you
Mm.
through her words, but at the same time it's like when she's like directing you maybe mostly or most of the time into the right way. When like imagine you're using a fork and a knife, right?
Yeah.
Or you have a fork, you have a knife. When you use the fork is just used to help you like hold it
Keeping
in.
in
And
place, yeah.
and as I said, on the more it's a blunt knife is that she's like imagine like a Nutella or peanut butter. She spreads love because one thing about Karen is that if you're in a group of people, she would want to talk to everybody.
Mm.
You know? So that's why
No, for sure. If you're one of her people,
yeah.
she'll
So,
she
so
she'll
yeah,
I think she'll
she'll
like fight for you.
yeah. She is ready to
No,
fight
she's
for
a
you.
good
And then
one.
she's also ready to change that blunt knife into a sharp knife. But we'll talk about that later.
So
Yeah.
she's a table knife disguised. No, she's a table. Yeah,
Your table
let me say
knife,
that.
but
She's a table knife, but in the backhand, she can turn into a butcher.
you said that, not me.
She'll agree with
Um,
that.
you said that, not me. I didn't say that. So yeah. So please let us know what if you know us or if you don't even know
Yeah.
us. You don't have to know us. Based on this episode, tell us what
Oh yeah.
utensils or what cutlery we are, and also tell us what cutlery and utensils you
What
are.
utensil you are and why?
Yeah,
Tell us
I
why,
know it's a
Word.
very, very stupid question, but sometimes I feel like these questions kind of make you think about it. Like,
No, it's
oh,
fun. It's
it's a
fun.
fun, nice question. I feel like to also ask your friends in a party. You don't have to ask them like
In a
nasty
party?
stuff. Yeah, like in a party, if someone asks you like, what utensil, you'll be
Oh,
like, what the
sorry. When I was
hell?
thinking party, I was like the party where people are like, and I'm like, how are we gonna have some there? You meant like a reunion where you're kind of like sitting
Yeah, I
there.
mean, you could be the DJ. You could be like, come on, what personality are you? Dun, 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 dun. Are you a fork?
What
Dun, dun,
utensil
dun,
are
dun.
you
Are you a
put
spoon?
in your
Dun, dun,
hand?
dun, 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 Come on, come on, come on. Cutlery,
uh,
cutlery, spoon, your spoon, your fork, oh, your knife, chopsticks, let's go, go, chopsticks, let's go.
Yo, I think you're gonna start a trend.
So I did eat a lot of sugar, so
Oh, that's so
Halloween I
funny.
have a pack of sugar, so
Yeah, this is why I miss this podcast, guys. Like that was to miss these moments.
yeah. So
Anyway,
yeah. So that's which one you are.
please tell us. We're more than happy to hear what you guys have to say, and obviously that comes from like things of like care. We care about what you guys have to say. Let us know what you think about the podcast too, of our return finally. Sorry we've been long. Uh, it's been a long time, so hopefully you guys still there, still wanting to have more episodes. We'll be back for sure. So be excited for season 2. This is a long episode, but I would say it's for our return, so we had to give you guys more time, share a little bit more, give you back those. How many episodes would have that been? 5 months? Man,
Mm-hmm.
if you did like one per week, 4 times 5, 20 episodes. Ooh. So yeah, so long episode for you to kind of share what's been going on. Obviously mine wasn't super as big as Serona. Serona, she's a new Serona now, so guys, so look forward to that. Getting to know her a little bit more, her new introvert self. Um, so yeah, excited to be back. Happy to be back. Share everything with you guys again. Look forward. Obviously, keep in contact with us in terms of our handles. We'll be on Instagram, so if you got questions, ask us. We're willing to answer. We might at some point make our podcast Instagram account. I think that'll be a good idea. To have like our own things there. People can ask us questions there, then we can answer them here. That'll be fun. So yeah, look forward to that. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Serena? No. How?
I'm actually tired. So
Oh gosh. Okay. Zerona's already like out of it from her looks of it. So yeah, we stayed up late by the way too, because now we're in the same hour, guys. Now like our 12-hour difference from like before. So yeah. So it's a lot different nowadays. So
mhm.
let Zerona get some sleep. Uh so yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for being season 2 of our All Encompassing podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brian, and that is obviously
Zerona with an X.
And so yeah, look forward to season 2, guys. Thank you. And hopefully you enjoy this long episode, but they won't be that long, I hope, since we're back now. So yeah.
Yeah.
So take care, guys. Hopefully everything's good and have a good one. So yeah. Yeah.
Are your chopsticks? Put your hands up. Are your chopsticks? Put your hands up. Are your